Welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith with. It's the interview series presented by WFPK at WFPK.org, Consequence, and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thanks as always for making your way here, checking out the series. You know what to do. Like what you see, what you hear, hit that subscribe button. I put out 3 new interviews every single week, so it's a great way to keep up with your favorite artists. I'm so excited today. He's got a brand new record. It's called All for Nothing. Lauv, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's great to see you here. You look very comfortable and wherever you are right now.
I'm cozy, just in my tour bus in Philly.
Billy, on tour and touring behind an excellent new record. Let me throw out the congratulations first. It's a really powerful piece that you've done this time.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah. How has it been? Because you're what, a couple weeks on tour at this point. We're gonna get into it because this, as you say, is a personal record. It's a powerful record. The things you're talking about. How has it been singing these songs night after night already?
It's been amazing. It's like more people every night know the words, which is really cool. Um, yeah, it's kind of scary in moments, but it's been really fun.
Yeah, that's what we think about because I've heard you say that you hear this as a joyous record because of where you're going, but on the surface, it almost comes across as a dark dance record at times,
Yeah,
and to be dealing what you're dealing with. I mean, I know that's what as songwriters you kind of go through all the time, but it feels like this. I don't know. Does it feel like it's any different this time around with this set of songs?
definitely. I mean, the this is kind of the first time I feel like I've really like just fully let go and was I wrote it in a very just freestyled way. I didn't really think about it. I wanted to specifically not think. I was dealing with a lot of kind of anxiety going into the album, so I was like, I'm just gonna see what's there underneath all of that, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So definitely it's different.
Well, it's talking about it because it is, as you say, it's a personal record. Sometimes that almost comes across like it's used a lot. Oh, it's my most personal record. But then you listen to this and you're like, oh, this does really sound like we're tackling like big topics. Yeah, I don't know. Could we talk a bit about that because there is a bit of an existential crisis that leads into this? Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely a big kind of just questioning everything in my life and why I had it, what it even meant to me, why I wasn't happy as a person, regardless. I think I realized, I hit a point where I had so much kind of like, I guess, like success that happened fairly quickly in my career that kind of, and I was left in this place where I still felt very empty on the inside and kind of, yeah, I was like facing that feeling.
Man, it does. It feels like a lot, but you get that right off the bat. I mean, you dive straight into it. That very first track,
Yeah.
26. And as a songwriter, how tricky is that? Because here you are, you're singing about success. You're singing about the thing that most people, you know, would love to have. And the struggle with that, like, whether it's not all it's cracked up to be or you're not finding what you need. Like so you've got that personal side, but as a songwriter side, how do you approach a song like that to try to get that message out?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like, I honestly, that song was so freestyled. I really didn't even think about crafting it in any way. It was all like I got the chords going and then just like had the microphone and I was kind of surprised by every lyric that was coming out. Like I was like, did I really just say that? Is that really how I feel? Like it was intense. So I wouldn't know. There probably is honestly a better way to craft it. I don't even know.
When it comes across, but it's interesting then how it speaks. Like, I think there were fans really quickly to point it out, like almost a through line from the song Billy. Like, do you hear those moments as you're doing them? You're like, oh, okay, that's talking to each other.
Yeah, yeah, Billy. It's interesting because Billy is like a different version. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's really cool. That's a cool comparison. I appreciate that.
yeah. So getting into the record then, because again, here you are, you're dealing with things. Freestyling, I think that's a really interesting way of doing it. You talk about therapy a lot, and I know the stream of consciousness is a great way to write. You did some was it inner child therapy? That was part of this.
Yeah,
Like, how
that
does
was
that find its
huge.
way into the record as well?
I guess like I was just kind of I got exposed to this inner child meditation when I was at a therapy retreat, and it was something that really clicked for me in a big way. And I started kind of looking more into that kind of work and practicing inner child meditation. And I just found that, a big part of that hole that I was trying to fill, inside of myself, or that lack of confidence or that lack of happiness, had to do with like not being okay with myself, and like not having a connection, with my inner child and like my vulnerability, and um so that was kind of the whole mission, was like get back in touch with that part of myself,
Yeah.
feel that, stop escaping it, stop trying to numb it out, stop trying to run away from it, just like feel it. So
So you get to like kind of speak directly to yourself on the record. Then is that how you saw
yeah.
it? Like, could you talk a bit more about that? Because I think we hear that term a lot, the inner child. But what is it?
Right.
What does it mean in this situation?
Yeah. So for me, it was like visualizing myself at a younger age and kind of like going back to certain memories and trying to like be able to now, as the more experienced adult that I am, tell the younger version of myself like what he needed to hear at that time that he didn't get to hear from somebody else. And to try to, because like that part of myself is still acting every day out of a wound. You know what I mean? Like the part of me that was really insecure or awkward or this or, whatever it might be, still comes out, gets triggered all the time because I haven't, dealt with like, oh, hey, I needed to be able to like work on that in that moment. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff. I mean, I also, there's a song "Hey Are You" on the album that's like a very like, that one was kind of like a letter to myself, just kind of a conversation. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different kind of pieces of it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the album ends. If we start in the present, we end at first grade in a way.
Yeah.
How is that when you think about the album in a through line as an album? I'm saying not as a collection of tracks, but as the story told. Why are we left at first grade at the end of this, or talking to first grade, I should say?
I guess I see it kind of like in some levels, like almost like a bit of a return to like innocence, or like kind of, starting the album with like the problem. Like here's where I'm at. Here's what I'm feeling. 26 prelude, like feeling empty, even though there's so much beautiful stuff going on in my life. And first grade is sort of a song that I think in all the ups and downs of the album, of like the healing moments and in this more self-sabotaging moments and whatever, first grade is a nice kind of like place to land. That's just like that return to like that innocence and that belief in yourself and all that.
Yeah,
So
you premiered that last night, right? Did I read that? Made its
oh, it was
live
the first time I
premiere.
sang it live. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was cool.
yeah, and that's is that the plan? I mean, are there still tracks on here that you haven't done live? Is there a reason why you're kind of spreading them out like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I've just been kind of feeling it out, because I also, my last album came out right before, the pandemic started. So I like have two new albums worth of music I have to fit into the show. So I'm trying to like pick the right songs and everything.
Yeah, that's got to be an interesting challenge to have two albums like that. I mean, luckily your
Yeah.
fans, I mean, they've been able to live with one of them for a long time in this one. So
Right.
that's got to be interesting. Like, I've never performed this live, but yet everybody knows it.
Right. Yeah. No, it's definitely interesting, and it's hard to pick all the songs because I love all the different eras. So it's like it's hard to be like whatever cutting songs out.
Uh-huh. To go on one of the other big things that you hit on with this record, I mean, you get a song like Time After Time and Bad Trip and Molly in
Yeah.
Mexico. These are songs of substance,
Yeah.
substances, I should say.
Yeah.
Which you didn't try to run away from. I mean, it's there. This is
Yeah.
part of the story. How did you want to tell that part of the story?
Yeah. I guess I wanted to just tell it as raw as possible without ever like uh recommending that anyone do anything by any means, because it was like I kind of went through a lot of, in that existential questioning part of my life, a lot of experimentation, a lot of curiosity, and also kind of gotten to some really bad and harmful habits that I'm not proud of. But it was the reality that I was living in. I always basically just take my reality and turn it into songs. And I have, a lot of love for the songs, and for their own little messed up way that they are. Um, yeah, and I guess I just wanted to share that, um, this is a piece of what was going on, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's no glorification
Yeah, I don't
so
want
much
that.
in those songs, right? Which, by the way, Bad Trip, I love the feel of that song. It might be
Thank you.
like the way the guitar drives on that one. Like, that's,
Yeah,
yeah. What do you,
I love that.
we should ask about the music while we're here. I mean, did you have that in mind, like what this album should sound like?
I kind of knew, so I knew that I was starting to back off a little bit on the production myself. Like I was a little bored of what I was doing as the main producer. So I started working with a few friends of mine and really kind of developed into this direction that the album is, that is a little bit more upbeat and driving, and especially songs like Bad Trip or I Don't Have a Problem, or I don't know, those were some of my like favorites sonically. But yeah, working with amazing producers like John Cunningham and Digi and Simon, and a lot of really cool people, and yeah, it was definitely a different process.
Yeah.
It was yeah, a different process.
Guy Lawrence part of that too, right? Disclosure.
Yeah.
I love Disclosure.
Yeah.
Like what's that
Yeah,
relationship like? Like what do you all bring to each other?
So, well, actually, it was another amazing producer. Is a friend of mine on the album, Jakob. He actually had the beat he made with Guy from Disclosure, and I had never even met or spoken to Guy, and then did, like, a few months later. But I just loved the beat. I was like, this beat is amazing, and so then we worked on the song together. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as I said, like, is it possible to come up with a dark dance record? Yes. It doesn't all the way always happen, but this is a cool, dark sounding dance record. For whatever the lyrics might come to represent, just that tone. I mean, it's a mood. It's a good mood. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, I know as we talk about mental health, World Mental Health Day is on the way again this year, which you've done some things on the last few years. Are you doing something big again this year for that? Is that in the plans?
I don't have actually anything in particular planned at this moment, but I definitely would like to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy that much time has passed already. I can literally think of what I was doing last. That's so insane. That's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not far. We're like a month and a half away from that, I think, is what it is.
That's crazy. No, I got to do something. I'll probably do something with I just started this thing called Lauv's Meditation Club that I'm like, have a phone number that people can call, and I'm guiding meditations, because meditation's been like my number one thing of recent to, like, in terms of dealing with my mental health. And maybe I'll do something. I would love to do something in combination with meditation. I think would be really awesome.
Yeah, I saw the meditation club. So what is that? Is that like a pre-recorded thing and people call in and listen to it that way? Is that what it is?
For now it's basically just like I basically tape my own meditations, and then people can call in and hear the pre-recorded meditation, trying to basically do it like every day or every couple of days, because I'm meditating, especially on tour, like probably twice a day. So all I need to do is find a quiet area so I can record it and then upload it to the phone. But yeah, it's something fun I'm trying out. I'd like to develop it further. I haven't figured out exactly what it's going to be yet, but yeah.
Is there a challenge in meditating twice a day, especially on tour? I mean, you're in a different place every time. It's not like it's the most, like, how hard is it to find that spot of comfort?
I would, luckily with my AirPods, I can just put on like a YouTube guided meditation, and that actually works super well. Or like in my bunk right now, like where I'm at in my bed. So, but it can be hard, because usually I like to do one right before stage, and that's like like when there's so much music going on. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're putting a lot of positivity out in the world, and I always appreciate that. And with this album too, again, All for Nothing, it's a powerful record that you put out there. Again, I just throw the congrats at you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Lauv, thanks so much for taking the time to talk, and enjoy the tour and the
Thank
lap of
you.
luxury of the bus you got going there.
I'm so excited. This tour is sick.
Right on. We will see you around.
Okay, sweet.
All right. Thanks. And thanks to my guest. Also, thanks to you for checking out the episode in the series. Before you get out of here, hit that subscribe button. Again, you get 3 brand new interviews every single week. New one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at right here on YouTube, or of course anywhere in podcast land, including iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, NPR, or WFPK.org as well. A great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover new ones as well. Then after that, actually head over to WFPK.org. That's where I do a show Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's an hour full of song premieres, music news, anniversary spins, bonus interviews, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern at WFPK.org. Consequence has your music and film news. You can also find me on the social media spots, Facebook, Instagram, mostly on Twitter. All three of them, the address is at Kyle Meredith. Do hope you like and follow along. That does it for another edition. I'm Kyle Meredith. I'll see you next time.